two wily old owls up in the coaches' boxes, Pat Lamb and Rob Baxter. Carl Dixon looked after Scotland and Italy against France in the Six Nations, that bonkers game not so long ago. By the way, when we go to the TMO today, if we go to David Rose, then we will hear, as we did in the Six Nations, the conversation with him and Carl, and it'll be transmitted all around Ashton Gate, which seems to me like a very good idea, and I'm sure to lots of us. Absolutely no reason why all of us watching on the telly are getting things that those of us here don't get. Anyway, where's this one going? A little bit of milky, watery spring Bristol sunshine shining down on us as the Bears get us going, and it's not the cleanest of catches from Chris Chinser, and the Bears will have possession from the line out. Gabriel O'Gray without his scrum cap today, O'Gray, and Bears get the first go, and immediately running hard, Rich Lane coming in off his wing, and this is Ravovo. Breathtaking start from Bristol, and immediately Chiefs defence being stretched. Harding took it in initially, and then it was done. James Williams, heavyweight inside centre, straightening things up, creating the platform. Harding, Randall, and this is Grondona, Santi Grondona. Byrne to Van Rensburg and Ravovo, and he is wrestled to the floor by Will Rigg. Here again is done. Harding waits. A little bit of movement from Harding to draw in the tackles. On the edge of the Bristol City penalty box, the Leinsterman, Harry Byrne, makes sure it goes further wide, and the try scored by Jack Bates. 50th game as a Bear, and it's taken 90 seconds for him and his mates to puncture that Chiefs defence.
Just as we anticipated they might do, the Bears came out flying. They took the line out so quickly to get the ball back on the pitch. When Pat Lamb's had some time on his own, a few weeks off, he becomes inventive. Look at the width on that pass. It just creates chaos for the Exeter Chiefs. Ravovo, as I mentioned before the game, he's strong, he stays in field. That is critical to helping Bristol get through the next set of phases, just as they wanted to go phase after phase, and they found a gap somewhere in the Chiefs eventually.
And the conversion from Harry Byrne matches the quality of the play that came before it. Bears 7-0.
Just so many options for Bristol at the line. When it's so fast into the game, you want something to calm you down, but when there's that many numbers coming at you defensively all the time, look, there's 2-3 options for Byrne all the time. And it's just not what the Chiefs start they wanted to allow Bristol in so quickly.
Henry Slade off his left boot. Taken by Paul Brown-Bampo. Exeter eager to rebalance. Hit with a big heavy punch in the first 90 seconds. Here's Jimmy Roots, first Premiership start. His brother Ethan not fit today. And then Ben Cohen, his Premiership debut. So many young, exciting players, 20, 21-year-old, 22-year-olds, and they are very quickly having to find their feet at this level. And that's a pleasant enough kick from Cohen, and it'll put a little bit of pressure on this Bears defensive lineup.
It's a nice kick from Cohen, and the phase before was Williams. It was just at a shot, but he put a massive hit on him. The referee, you heard his mic saying it was legal, it was fine, it wasn't late, but he took the ball close to the line, and Williams put a heck of a shot on him, just welcoming him to Premiership Rugby. He gets back on his feet, just forcing some pressure on the Bristol line now. Nice kick to get him in the game.
In 5. That's once.
O'Gray with his plaited hair to Viliama Mata.
Not a hairstyle I think I could pull off, Nick, that one.
No one's stopping you, Ashy. I mean, you've got to live your life. If you're wondering if that Jack Bates try, by the way, after 90 seconds was the fastest of the season so far in the Premiership, it wasn't, because Jamie Blamire scored after a minute for the Falcons, but it was one of the fastest. Chunza up high, Fissel out, and then Rigg giving it a blast for the first time. Chiefs asking questions just outside the Bears 22. It was Capstick who helped get that ball a little further left to Josh Hodge, left winger today. No Manny Faya-Waboso, no Ollie Woodburn, both of those injured, so it's Brown, Bampo and Hodge offering the widest threats. Chiefs have a penalty. Well, they might have more. They're going to have a try. Martin Maloney. As rebalancing acts go, that is impressive.
That's an excellent try, and it's really good phase play for Exeter. Good line up from the start. There's such a late line from Martin Maloney. It's Cairns who takes it right to the line, and Bristol bite. There we go.
Tries good call.
Grondona, I think it's Grondona, he's looking at 9. It's a lovely line from Cairns. He takes it right to the line, he waits until Grondona bites him, and he just lifts it on his shoulder. You can only imagine that's something that's rehearsed. That's good communication from Maloney, letting him know he's on his right shoulder. But it looks like it's a premeditated move, but Bristol just biting in on number 9 too soon, rather than let the attack unfold.
Yeah, Bristol will be annoyed they've allowed this try to come through. Grondona goes in, I think, too soon. It's obvious enough, it's just a misread, I think. There's nothing too technical in it.
Yeah, it's Kloska's man. Kloska has to take 9 there. I think Grondona takes the first player outside of 9. He just bites in because 9 takes those few steps. He just draws him in, just entices him in. And as soon as he nibbles, lifts it up.
Ball won by Owen. Jimmy Root's late tackle. However, Williams goes through. We're not surprised about this start. We're in Bristol, for goodness sake. We're at Ashton Gate, for goodness sake. These things happen. These things are commonplace. 3 tries in about as many seconds.
Well, it's 3 kick-off receptions which haven't been received. Twice Bristol have kicked on a kick-off and they've got the ball back straight away. Shuns on the first one, if you recall, knocked it out in the touch. And they do exactly the same kick. Exeter just do not respond. And it looks like it's slightly sloppy defending. Just gets through that tackle way too easily. That's 3 kickoffs now that neither team has been able to get that possession and exit. So you've just seen tries straight away. There's a good finish from Williams, but poor defence at the same time from Exeter.
It's just not dying with the ball from Williams, I think. Just getting up and everyone thinks the tackle's done, but no, if you keep buying for the extra load, sometimes you find yourself through a gap. Great finish.
Well, it's not quite 3 tries in 3 seconds, but it is 3 in the first 7 minutes.
Just bounces off the tackle here, Williams. Look, everyone almost stops. Not Williams, just duck under the tackle, keep fighting through. That's why you fight through the contact, because you never know, you might end up through the other side.
That restart wasn't taken cleanly. It might have been Joe Owens, but it's Exeter's instead, and Thistlehouse swings it away to the left-hand side. Tom Cairns goes looking. Well, that's nicely done, really nicely done. This is Dan John. John on his way. Here's Brown Bampo. Surely we're not going to get a 4th. Exeter hoping. Roots slams it up. Fisselau not far away, but behind him, and then the kick from Cohen to Hodge needs some decent step work. He was brought down, but off the floor, and Slade scores. And it is 4 tries in the opening 8 minutes.
Well, this is mad. I mean, it's another kick-off not received, and this time from Bristol. And Cohen was doing those crossfield kicks in his warm-up. I was watching him do quite a few to his left and to his right. This is really nice play. Exeter have shown a lot of this running intent in the Prem Cup. Lots of forward players playing out the back, lots of numbers to the line. So it's really good attacking shape from Exeter. There's John there, not a lovely step to it on his left-hand side. He gets that ball away to keep set Bram Bambo off. But it's this crossfield kick. It's such a good offload off the floor. Hodge does so well. He does well to stay in play first. I think wingers are guilty of falling in the touch there, but he keeps that ball alive. It's a great finish.
Tries good, Carl. No problems.
I don't know how much they charge for season tickets at Ashton Gate, but whatever it is, it's not enough. And the conversion just slips wide. Bristol 12, Exeter 12. We played 10 minutes.
Yeah, for any youngster here playing on the wing, just having the awareness of space, one stepping inside, but then knowing you've got two players around you, the ability to pop the ball off the floor now when you're not fully tackled, or there is no ruck. It's great work from Hodge. Yeah, you're right there, Nick. You definitely get value for money at your tickets.
You certainly do. What a start. What about this restart? Oh, it's taken! Yes, Van Rensburg. I almost can't speak, which is a problem when you're doing this job. Well, I don't know, you come up with your own words, I'm running out of them. It's a fifth try, straight from the kick-off. Bernard Janse van Rensburg.
I've never seen a start like it. There's a fifth kick-off that someone hasn't received. This is a masterclass on how to get the ball back on your own kick-off. This time they vary it, they go deeper, but you've got to credit Van Rensburg. He chases so hard. I don't think Cohn realises he's so close. Great hang time on the kick from Byrne. It's a good kick. Doesn't happen by accident. It's a good kick, really good chase. I don't think Exeter expected that much pressure on the ball that quick. Van Rensburg, the opportunistic. This is madness.
10 seconds.
Harry Byrne, who's getting plenty of opportunity to practice his kicking with the conversion.
I dare Bristol to collect this kick-off. This is the sixth kick-off now with 12 minutes. And we need one team just to secure one kick-off.
Right, what's happening here? Oh, it's another one! Taken by Paul Brown-Bampo. Is this rugby union we're watching? Can someone check front of the programme? Oh, here goes Fissalau. This is Max Norrie, one of the many playing his first Premiership game of the season today. It's not always like this, Max. Here's Capstick. And that's been dropped, has it? Josh Yosefa Scott, by the way, is on for Jimmy Root for a blood injury, and then it's kicked away by O'Gray. Ravovo chasing hard. Slade needs to be careful. He's got a bit of time, and that is a very good, fabulous clearing kick. We're going to have a line out, which almost feels a bit like rugby union.
Are we seeing far too much been done in the past few weeks in training? Is that what the case is here? The lads are still in touch mode.
Well, well, well. Only played 13 minutes. Here's Randall. And this is Mata. Whipped up by George Kloska, England A starter here for against Ireland last month. And it was taken back in over halfway, so it's not a 50-22, but it doesn't diminish the quality of the kick.
Just on the Byrne kick-off at the hang time that he got, as we've seen him kick another kick here, is that something a Pat Lam idea, do you think?
Yeah,
just creating a one-on-one off the kick-off now to get the situation what we've seen.
Well, the advantage is with the player who's running, as you know, Ashley, you would have received a lot of balls. If you're running onto that ball, you can obviously propel higher. Think of a high jumper. You don't jump from a standstill, you jump from a run-up. So by running up and jumping, you can gain a significant advantage in the air over the opposite number. It was a smart kick-off. That was a great kick from Byrne as well. Just when you thought, knowing Bristol, they're probably going to play from deep. Just seemed like a smart kick when it's very hair and scare them. Just put Exeter back in their 22. It was a good kick.
This is Tom Cairns in for Stu Townsend today. His first Premiership start of the season. He's only 22. Cairns and Cohen, by the way, 9 and 10 from Teignmouth. We have a story about Teignmouth in a minute. We don't have time for anything else right now, but to enjoy this. Oh, and then that's been dropped by Viliami Mata. The 50-22 is on, and Bates did well, and the pass to Rich Lane asked a few questions of his fullback. This is Cairns.
Use it, please.
Picked up by Josefa Scott on temporarily for Roots. There's a hint with the forward about that, but it's the nature of the game to just crack on and enjoy yourself at the moment.
Feels slightly odd that we haven't had a try for 2 minutes.
Well, hang on, here's Revovo. He'll sort that out. Oh, and here goes Williams again. He's making up for all the time he's missed this season. Picked up by Dunn, and then Van Rensburg, and Mata could go on his own if he wants to. For half a second it slowed down. Harding, Byrne, and then Kloska with the link. Williams with the second. A little kiss towards those in the Atio stand, and then something more substantial. And the bonkers gets more and more bonkers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tries in the opening quarter of an hour.
Well, Bristol playing the Bristol way, they attacking from deep. Burns mixed it up nicely. He's kicked for territory, they've played from deep. Williams with this half break. But it's Burton, that's the pass, he whips a pass, goes across 2 of his Bristol players. You thought Mata was going to offload this, we've seen it so many times before, but he would have got that away, but he just manages to keep the ball alive. And then it's good just to spread it slightly wider. James Williams, who's come back with a bang. I don't think I've seen a better 16 minutes of Prem Rugby. It's been all action.
TMO was just checking David Rose to see whether
just checked his foot.
James Williams' right boot slipped into touch there. It didn't, so we're fine.
I think Mata actually caught his shoulder on the floor. That's why he might have gone for the offload. He was struggling, getting some treatment. If you're Exeter Chiefs, you've got when you see these players with the ball, you know they're going to offload. You've got to get around them. You can't just keep a low in the hands to go free and then getting 50-metre line breaks.
Not you, him.
If you're thinking this must be the fastest bonus point in the Gallagher Premiership season so far, you'd be wrong, because Northampton scored 4 inside 14 minutes and 20 seconds against Newcastle in December, but it's fast enough.
Let them land.
Another botched restart, and now the Chiefs can perhaps drive and reply from this attacking line out. So many options. Jenkins, one of them.
That's one's backwards.
Bristol have chewed up a couple of metres with that early drive, but Tom Cairns and the Chiefs can go with Rigg. 25 today, will Rigg. Cairns with his old Teignmouth mate Cohen waiting. It didn't get that far. Jenkins. Owen went down low. Premiership debut against Exeter a couple of years ago. And Fisselau hit hard by Mata. You picked out, Sam, the battle of the 2 number 8s today, Viliami Mata and Greg Fisselau. Close proximity just then. This is Maloney, who's scored one of the Chiefs' 2 tries. Rigg. Josefa Scott working. Oh my goodness, that is, I think, the biggest hit of the season. Mata on Slade. Meantime, on the try line, Chiefs looking to score through Jenkins, and they have. Gareth Jenkins scores, but at the start of all that, a collision from another universe on poor old Henry Slade. Absolutely levelled by Viliama Mata, but the Chiefs kept their heads and they've scored the try.
Well, it might be the perfect tackle, but it could also be very high. I think we need a closer look at that. Mata's thrown his weight around a bit this first 60 minutes. It's the third big shot he's put in. My goodness, I haven't seen many of those. That is massive.
No problem.
We're just hearing the tackle is fine.
And the try's good as well.
Such a big impact from Mata, but to what expense? You cost yourself a team, your team a try, sorry, should I say, because you've just took yourself out the line completely, committing to Slade's pass. As the ball player, Slade, he wants you to bite in on him, he wants you to fly on him. I know the impact's massive, but you're taking yourself out of the defensive line, creating an edge against the Chiefs.
Well, that took our breath away, so goodness knows what he did to Henry Slade. The heaviest you've ever been hit, do you remember it?
Never loses the ball.
In the face, Nick.
Well, yeah, that's true. Heaviest you've ever been hit legally, not in an East Midlands derby. That was something else, wasn't it? Goodness me.
I think that's one of the biggest hits I've seen. That was massive. I mean, fair play to Slade for taking that one. That is a monster tackle. Surprised he's still on. I mean, if that hasn't triggered a HIA, I'm not sure what will. That impact must be enormous.
18.
Jimmy Roots is back on.
Happy to come back in.
So Josh Yosefa Scott can head back into port. There's Roots without a number now.
They got 6 at the moment.
I did see a bigger one once on Ben Foden, Henry Tuolangi, when he was at Perpignan. I thought Ben Foden was dead at the time.
Bristol with Williams and Randall, and then this is Mata, this time in attack. Randall again. Bristol already with the bonus point, looking for a 5th try in the opening 20 minutes or so.
You pulled him across, Prem.
O'Gray takes his time and then he snaps away with it with a bit of help from Woolmore. Grondona's there. Maloney amongst the Chiefs with their eyes wide open. And it's Maloney who helped stop Grondona. But this is a different kind of rugby. This suffocating, close range, muscular rugby. Bears trying to do it a different way. Randall perhaps time to spin it now. It is Byrne and then Van Rensburg. Brilliantly done by Rich Lane. And then this is Bates. The pass from Lane. So many people involved in this, including Van Rensburg. And now Chiefs have it. Oh, determined defence. Let's have a word with Rob Baxter. I've got a million questions, Rob, but what's at the top of your piece of paper at the moment? What's uppermost in your mind?
Probably receiving restarts.
Well, yeah. What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're trying to cover a lot of things as we make change. You know, there's been some changes this week, and we've obviously tried to cover lots of things, and obviously that's one thing, you know, that you just go, oh, there's a short one that we don't adjust, and there's a long one we don't work around behind the ball. We're just trying, obviously, to get the guys to open their eyes early and get on the move a little bit earlier. I mean, the tempo and the pace of the game has been kind of so much that everyone's drawing breath every time. I mean, you know, Bristol would say the same probably. They haven't been great on restarts either, have they? It's been one of those things where we've been kicking off and getting a position to score, and then they've been doing the same to us. So it's breaking that cycle that's going to be the key for us. Breaking the cycle of score to score is what we're going to have to really try and work hard to do.
Is that the nature of the game at the moment, that actually the players, as much as they need to take a pause, are finding it hard to build that in naturally?
A little bit. I mean, we've just got to get open eyes to get on with the game and not take that breath. You know, something successful happens, not taking that breath and then getting back on the move. You know, the Van Rensburg score, if you actually watch how long it takes us to get on the move before the kick happens, and we could be on the move. We just need to be anticipating things a little bit ahead of them happening.
Rob, it's fabulous entertainment. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, 3, no number, you're out now, you're out. Lost your bind fully. We're back. Still moving.
Richard Capstick doing all he can to hold things up. Seeing a little bit more of George Kloska than we probably need to on a Saturday tea time, but he sorts himself out, and we'll have a line out. A blessed line out. Good old-fashioned rugby.
That's a good scrap from Exeter. They do well to disjoint that maul. It looked like Bristol within the ascendancy, but Capstick, I think, comes through, gets on the ball. That's what you want to see from your forward pack. You know, when the game's been so hair and scaring against you from a momentum perspective, you just want to win those small battles like a maul. And there's another one. Chance to clear their line. Just all comes from good graft from that forward pack.
There's James Dunn, who's been picked up by Carl Dixon. Richard Gordon and Callum Howard, by the way, are assistants today. We've already said hello to David Rose, who's in the truck, TMO.
Access!
And off the free kick, Cohen puts it high, and Hodge got there first, but he didn't come away with the ball. Instead, it's Randall flicking it off the turf to Rich Lane, and Byrne.
Still under pressure at the moment.
Here's Van Rensburg. Oh, my goodness. Van Rensburg knocks Jimmy Roots off his feet, which takes some doing. I wish you could see the smile on Chris Ashton's face at the moment as he watches Tom Cairns break away. And here's Fissalau. Cairns back in there quickly. Rig wants it, gets it. Roots throwing his weight behind it. Maloney's waiting. Maloney in the red cap. Well, Bristol might have won this back. They have won it back. Brilliant digging work. Chris Ashton, how much are you enjoying this?
There's so much going on. There's contact, someone's getting hit off the ball legally as they're just passing, and there's an offload, half a break. Bristol were on here on the left if they moved it, but I think we've got to the point of the game where it's been so frantic. Everybody's just kind of taking a breath and finding the second wind, working themselves into the game, because Bristol had an opportunity there and they've not taken it, and normally they are screaming for it. Maybe they just need a little minute to catch breath.
Just on the fast, thanks.
How good has Harry Byrne been? The quality of his passing, the crispness of it, Sam. It sets everything up, doesn't it?
Yeah, a couple of times you've seen him throw that sort of face ball, they call it, just goes across the face of two Bristol players, gets into those 50-metre challenges. We saw it very first play, you remember, when Exeter didn't get the kick off, he had a line out, just got the ball to space straight away. He's finding that space really well.
Well, you could see the rather perplexed look on Henry Slade's face, the arms in the air, but he has been taken off for an HIA, we presume, because the doctors up in the stands have picked out something that they saw earlier. That's brilliant. Here comes another one. It's Bates. And the Bears have 5.
Such good first place, set piece from Bristol, so inventive, creative, runners everywhere. You just don't know who to pick up. And Lane pops up. Jack Bates comes from nowhere, really, just on the shoulder, perfectly timed. How are you meant to pick him up there? You're not really, unless you know the move, unless you've seen it before and be able to defend it when it's fresh out the playbook. It's so hard to read. Look, Cohen's trying to pick up two defenders.
You're right, that's a heck of a move, because he starts. I was just watching it then, I didn't see it first time. I was watching then on the replay, because he starts behind Janssen van Rensburg. Cohen is watching Janssen van Rensburg, but he just drifts to the side and just swoops in on his inside shoulder, he just hides behind him, almost just shadows him. So as a defender, it's so hard to pick up, and it's such a late pass to the line. That's a difficult read to make for any player. That's a great attacking move.
Well, we've had 28 minutes and 52 points. And Exeter regain the kick-off, and Chinza. This is Maloney.
Just check for more, please. I've got penalty.
5 tries to 3. And we've not yet played half an hour.
Carl, we will need to review that for more.
That's great. Still got penalty advantage.
Cairns to Hammersley. Hammersley, who's come on for Slade.
New advantage.
Hodge did really well. A ball that was aching to go forwards. It didn't quite. And then the step from Hodge. That's something else. We're seeing a season's worth of highlights in half an hour here at Ashton Gate. Back from Hodge, down by his laces, picked it up, lift off.
Number 6, yeah.
What a bit of skill from Hodge. There was nothing in the pass. He fell at his feet, but he's got the finesse to just touch it past the defender. As we see here, the pass, it puts it into the space, but what a touch that is. Perfectly bounced it up, and then this is just gas. There's no substitute for it in sport at all. When you've got speed and you'll be able to use it like that, there's nothing like it. Just goes on the outside, gone.
Yeah, that's right.
What a try.
I'll bring it up for you now, Carl.
Well, the try's fine.
It's real time
However,
first, Carl.
David Rose has seen some head contact involving Santi Grondona, I think. It's Grondona on Maloney.
So those are the two, Carl. Real time at slow-mo.
Show me the top angle. I just want to see if there's a clear step across by the white
There's
player.
a late change of direction in there, Sam, I think.
It's definitely head contact.
Carl,
It's the left foot
he
step.
does step back towards him, but there's not a step at the contact point.
Okay, so yeah, I agree on that. So I just want to ask the boys. So at the moment, I'm seeing head contact, foul play because the player's upright. High degree of danger because it's quite forceful in the tackle. And then I'm not actually seeing any mitigation. The player steps early and then runs into him rather than a late and significant step. You happy with that? Okay, so we're looking at red card there, aren't we? Okay, so I have a decision. Rosie, back on me, please.
Okay, Carl.
Okay, so there is head contact. It is foul play because number 6 is upright. It's a high degree of danger because there's a lot of force in that head contact, and there's no mitigation because the step comes early rather than late. So 6 has time to adjust. So that red card.
Yeah, agree with that.
Premiership history.
No mitigation, high degree of danger.
Over the tannoy here at Ashton Gate, and telling Santi Grondona and telling Bears fans inside this magnificent arena that he's gone and gone for good. It's a red.
The fans don't like it. I think Carl Dixon's explained that very well. And you only have to look at Maloney's face on the impact. You know, it was cut him open straight away. It was high. It was direct head-on-head, and I understand what Carl's saying. He did step a few metres in advance, so it does give some time to adjust, and Grondona was upright all along.
Watch the try scorer. Off the left boot. Can't add the 2. Bristol 33, Exeter 24. We've had 9 tries, and we've not yet played half an hour.
I'm glad Carl Dixon played the game on. I think someone, if they hear from the TMO like that, could have stopped the game instantly and gone to the check, but we got an amazing try off the back of continuing the game. Yeah, it was like a heavyweight punch there to the face, just something you see in boxing. It's a head impact, and I see that's going to affect Bristol.
9 tries and a red card in the half an hour. Now how do Bristol play this? Now how do Exeter play this? This is Lane. Been part of every Premiership game this season. Henry Slade has failed his HIA. We can only assume that was as a result of Viliama Mata's hit. We'll go back through the tape, but just the percussive nature of that hit that was not on the head, but clearly impacted eventually on the head, Sam.
Yeah, even the whiplash effect can give you that brain injury, so to speak, because even just that whiplash in your head flying backwards, it doesn't stop your brain from moving inside its skull. So that's why head guards don't actually protect the brain. They protect you from abrasions, but you know, if your head moves that fast, you're going to experience concussive symptoms. But we've seen a big swing of momentum here. There's a lot of energy and noise coming through the referees' mic from the Exeter pack, and they won that penalty. And with the red card, the breakdown turnovers, some physicality, and now some ball in the 22, you think Exeter would be excuse the pun, given what's just happened, but be smelling blood at this moment in time.
And because Grondona's gone with the red, Stephen Luatua is on for Revovo. Meantime, Exeter looking for another try. We almost need 2 sets of commentary here. Where's Eakin? Drag him down from Tottenham. I need help. Clipped away by Cairns. Here's Capstick. Hearing there might be another potential head contact to look at in a minute. Fisselau takes it on for Exeter. Penalties to the Chiefs. Opening up here. Capstick, if he can get it away, there might be opportunities. It's Luatua who went in. Kearns.
We've got head contact, penalty only by 13 on black on 8.
We've got a penalty anyway.
Yeah, it's from the carry at the line out.
Okay,
Hodge.
Thanks.
So nothing more significant than a penalty off the head contact. You heard David Rose tell us. Here's Will Goodrick-Clark.
Let go.
James Dunn getting his big hands on the ball. Hands can still play on, not now. That's been dropped by Fisselau.
So we've got one right in front of... Oh, it's not here. We've got one right in front of the post, so we've got one over from the line out over there. Okay, head contact.
Yeah, it was 13 on 8, Carl.
Some good carries there from Exeter.
Where you are, mate.
So at least 4 or 5 examples of Bristol not rolling away.
No.
That's a consequence of some real dominant carries from that Exeter pack. You heard Carl Dixon saying a couple of penalties, one's for head contact, but Bristol was slow to roll away. They're on top now here, Exeter. It would be real deflated if they walk away from this with nothing from this 22-metre entry. But with the man in the bin, I think it's a smart choice from Dab Jenkins in shot there, just to kick the ball to the corner and back the ball again.
Max Norrie to Chinza. Cairns, he glanced to his left to see what was on. He's telling Brown Bampo to remain an option on that right-hand side, the blind side, but he's being covered by Bates, and it doesn't get that far.
There's 2 of the Bristol forwards out, not even in the maul there, and Exeter haven't been able to get any momentum whatsoever. As you said, Sam, they couldn't afford to. I almost thought it was better going for the 3 points there than the corner. Just keep the clock ticking. You've got a long time left in this game. You don't have to score the try and get ahead straight away. There's a lot left in it. I'd have gone for the 3 points, got back, reset, go again.
Hardin does well there. Didn't see him squirrel his way in, but he's the man on the floor with the ball in his hands. He must do so well when Exeter bring that ball down, just to fight his way through and get that ball back. That's a big moment, just to try and win some momentum back. It's been all Exeter for the last sort of 3 to 5 minutes. There we go. You see the sort of compounding errors from Exeter. 2 compounding errors now, 40 yards back up their pitch. You just felt that's probably going to be a moment which they'll talk about at half-time. Just those moments when you need to execute, when you've got momentum, you've got your foot on the throat and you've got to execute, and they failed to do that. That's a good maul defence, scrum penalty, and forwards have won that momentum back for Bristol Bears.
Come back to the line, White.
What's the scene? What's the scene?
Burn. Matter, brilliantly away by Williams, and he had to do it quickly, and he did. And then Bates to the fullback lane. Lane now chases his own kick. Look at Randall. Ran so fast he overran the ball. He was like a little whippet then. What a chase, Chris.
He was offside, unfortunately. Just ahead of the ball he was. It's the width of Burns' pass. I've seen it so much today in the game, but from a line-out, he's getting 15-20 metres on his pass. It's just creating chaos for Exeter.
Okay, use it now, please.
That's asking a lot from Byrne. Oh, it's gone just a foot or so too far, and Dan John happy to take it all the way back. Let's have another look at the break.
This is the pass here. Look how quick and easy he managed to get flat 10, 12 metres on the pass. It's just in and out of his hands so nicely, with ease. Really unfortunate. Randall, it's a hard thing. You're so desperate to get on the ball there. You've got to try and bide your time as much as you can. Then you take a chance, see if you can get away with it. But we've seen it a lot of this game so far. They've obviously something been practicing in the width that he can get and how easy he can get the ball out of his hands. What a skill to be able to do.
It's smart from Leinster, I think. They've obviously got a conveyor belt of 10s, and rather than him holding tackle bags, being on the bench or being a bit part player, come to the Bears in January, extended his loan spell to end the season, getting some quality game time, and will go back with much more exposure under his belt at this level.
Pat Lam telling us AJ McGinty isn't far away from a return either, so heading into the playoffs, the Bears will have McGinty and Harry Byrne as high-end options at fly half. 2.5 minutes to half-time. Bristol will have the scrum. Should nothing come of this, nothing did come of it, but the advantage didn't last long either. 50-22 perhaps, a couple more rolls, but Hammersley got there first as he needed to, and then had to get around Luatua.
What a chase, Luatua. He was on his own there, just flying up. Since he's come on, he's had a massive impact. It's only a small, might look like a small effort, but look at the pressure. Just put them under. He's back on his feet, making another shot again. He's been immense since he's come on.
Maloney,
Let's go. Now.
Second Chiefs player without a number, joining Jimmy Roots. Both changed their shirts. Not a bad player to have off the bench. Nobody's captain Bristol more in the Premiership, and he's come on and made an immediate impression after the Grondona red card.
There he is. Watch him on the right of your screen there, just leading the charge, puts his head down and just pumps his legs. But it's a good tackle as well. You know, when you're a fatigue forward and you've got a back three running at you, he does well to stay on his feet, not commit to the tackle too early. He's technically so good. I was talking to Pat Lam about this before. Does all the basics very well. Line out take, rut cleans, ball placement on the floor, tackle technique. He's a superb player.
Well, he set up this line out, which Mata added himself to, or at least the drive subsequently. O'Gray has it, Randall wants it. Byrne, what about this next pass? Well, instead it was a step, and he was caught down low by Fisilau.
Yeah, use it, please.
Owen, keeping it tight. Van Rensburg goes in, leaves it for Randall. Luatua, done. Away to Harding. Well, if there are tired lungs, tired legs out there approaching half-time, you will absolutely forgive them. Chiefs coughing up one more penalty before half-time. Randall and a former scrum half colliding, and then the kick from Byrne. What about it? Not quite good enough for Rich Lane, but he was that close.
Number 9 on the floor. Must be up.
Such a great skill to have in the armoury. The low crossfield punt. There's only so many. I mean, we're seeing every 10. They've got to have it in the back these days because it's a viable option all the time. Just a metre shorter, and it was game on. It's a really big ending to this first half here for Bristol, especially to get another try here so close to half-time with a red card. Be a real big boost going into the second half.
We've never had 10 tries in the first half of a Premiership game. It perhaps won't surprise you. We have had 9 previously. We've had another one of those today, but this would be for history. Added time at the end of the most extraordinary first 40 minutes, taken by Luatua. O'Gray flies back in. It is O'Gray's. Mata moves in ahead of him. James Williams adding his weight as well. Bristol trying to take the slow bus to their destination. They'll need to go once more. Exeter have done well to slow that up a little bit. Randall looked for the kick. Byrne had it, gets it away to Van Rensburg. Byrne goes the other way, and then brilliantly away by Dunn, but...
Number 4.
Penalty against Jenkins. Still one more opportunity for the Bears.
Gotta get it in the corner and do the same again, Sam.
Yeah, it was smart. They're a man down, obviously, with a red card, so they obviously put all the backs in to make up for the lack of numbers. So you can still go to the maul in attack. They're not going to want to go 7v8, but if you're going to chuck your backs into it, it's going to be good. Or if you do now they could trick us and go for a breakout maul. Will like they go in for it, then break out to the backs, we'll see.
Full 8-man line out. Owen brought down studiously. Van Rensburg. Oh, and then very nearly through Luatua. Randall for history. Never had this many tries in a Premiership first half. Count them, 10 of them. First half tries, and those who took the decision to come here this afternoon have made the right one.
Oh, that was great from Randall, that man in shot there. He was zipping around those rucks prior to that, just getting the ball away. A bit of chaos going on with that breakdown, players on the wrong side. Just watch how quickly Randall just gets the ball away, just steps in, just gets that ball away. He's got a player on the wrong side, plays in Luatua, lovely. Gets that ruck nice and early and just goes, doesn't wait for the extra pack to set up and form that defensive line, just keeps up that tempo. Really good play from Randall.
Well, where do you start? First try after 90 seconds for the Bears and for Jack Bates. 5 tries in the first 15 minutes, 3 for Bristol, 2 for Exeter, 10 by half-time in total, the record. Oh, and 1 red card for Santi Grondona. Ashton Gate up to its usual tricks again. Blimey. 14-man Bristol, 40, Exeter 24. First things first, Exeter changes in the front row. They have brought on Jack Yendall, the hooker, and Quenzo Blose, the loose head for Will Goodrick-Clark. Max Norrie making way also. There's Jack Yendall, part of the furniture down in Devon for so long. 6 Premiership finals, that Champions Cup final here against Racing, the greatest day of Chiefs' long history so far. This one clearly would not match that, but it would go down as one of the days. And it's in the balance, that red card for Santi Grondona. I'm sure all of you at home feeling similarly.
Take him back in, hold in front.
I think one thing that you can absolutely bank on, Sam, is outside. Bristol not shutting up shop here. They only know one way.
We can hear the refs, Mike, as they're coming out of the tunnel just before we come back on air, and you can hear Bristol coming out of their change room and their subs or whoever's not involved all going nuts, or their non-match day squad. So they're sort of ramping up the energy. They don't just want to stop now. It's going to be another 40 minutes of pressure, you feel, and try and chase that scoreboard even further, because you never know as you go down the line, points difference can come in handy. They're going to want to keep putting pressure on Bath at the top of that table. So it looks like, or sounded like in particular, that Bristol are coming out for more.
Ball's exposed.
Holding on to the ball, apologies for the language, but you can understand the excitement. Yendall and Blose and Youssefa Scott brand new into the front row and throwing their weight around immediately. And here's Ben Cohen. Did enough in the Premiership Cup to earn this opportunity. Grew up as a Chiefs fan. Cohen, part of the England under-20 side, who painfully for them missed out on a Grand Slam in Cardiff last week, but a player with some potential. He'll be learning loads tonight. It'll be coming out of his ears.
7.
It's definitely a case for Bristol not overplaying the hand. There's got to be a balance, hasn't there? Especially when you've got in the situation they are. You've got to find a way to just not overplay, kick at the right time. I'm sure they're fully aware of that. And for the Chiefs, you've got to capitalise it. When you get an opportunity like this, you have got to make it count, because this is where Bristol come alive with this open field running.
It was Yendall's throw, brilliantly picked off by Luatua, and look where the ball is now, 5-10 seconds later, and look who'll have the next throw. That 15 seconds most definitely belonged to the Bears.
Well, I was praising him in the first half, and it was Luatua right at the back of that line out more, getting up and getting that turnover, which is brilliant work again. I said he's good at the basics. It's just little things like that go unnoticed. Great turnover, ball goes to Van Rensburg, and bang, 50-22. What a swing of momentum. 22-22.
He scored one of the Bears' 6 tries in the first half. And now the Bears cough up line-out ball that should have been theirs. Cairns away.
Get out, thank you. Just don't go from the front.
I was going to give you a story about Teignmouth Rugby Club before the madness started, related really to Cohen and Cairns being 2 old boys, youngsters as they still are. The Simmons brothers, Sam and Joe, are playing against each other in the top 14 today. It's Pau against Montpellier, and 200 from the Teignmouth Club have decided to go to France to say hello. That'll be some trip. I'll enjoy catching up on this later on, particularly if the Bears can come from behind in this second half. Rich Lane chases his own kick, but Hodge had him and the ball covered.
It's really nice there from Lane, just the awareness of space behind. Exeter seem to just leave so much space in the backfield. If it's there, you might as well take it. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm sure Patland won't have a problem with that, because it's the right rugby decision to take at the right time. That certainly was.
By the way, Max Malin's Achilles injury means that we're unlikely to see him play again for the Bears, so next time we'll see him in the Premiership, he'll be back with Saracens. And Exeter rather making a mess of that defensive line-out. Jake Woolmore making sure that the Bears profited.
See Woolmore there, it looks like a small thing, but your coach as a loose head at the front to never switch off. It might look like you're not going to be involved in a lift, but always watch out for the quick throw at the front, and that's what they're praising him for. He switched on, he didn't manage to intercept it, but he got back for the tackle straight away, and a lot of loose heads can switch off at the front of that line out, but Woolmore does well to stay engaged and win his team back the ball.
It's probably a reason why we've just seen Bristol at the top of the table and Exeter at the bottom is the past 2 minutes. Seen a turnout line out from Exeter straight down on the Bristol half, one kick into the opposition 22, and then they turn over Exeter again in the corner. Like I say, it's the little things in the games that players are doing that are the difference between winning and losing games.
Dan John's first Premiership game of the season draws to a close. Harvey Skinner is on. Tom Wyatt, by the way, who was starting fullback in the Premiership Cup final last weekend, tweaked a hamstring along with Ethan Roots, which is why neither of those are involved. Anyway, John off, Skinner on. Skinner straight into defensive mode. You're going against Quenzo Blose. There he is, late replacement for Scott Seo in the 23 this evening, signed from the Stormers this season. He had a bit of time in the top 14 with Bordeaux. O'Grey this time with the line out. Goes long, taken by Dunn. Exeter got the numbers wrong in the line out, so there will be another penalty. There might be more to come here as blue and white hoop shirts drive in. Try line the target.
Number 6v5. 6v5.
Free kick taken quickly by Randall. Wasn't quite the gap even for him to scurry under. Dunn waits. It's Harding instead, however, first. Matter does some drilling in the middle of all that to retrieve the ball. Dunn, maybe, not quite. Matter, Luatua finds the line. A killer angle. an unstoppable angle, and the first try in the second half belongs to the Bears.
That's impressive, and Luatua, that man deserves it. They turned on the power game there, Bristol. They're playing with the team with the man advantage. They're just keeping up the tempo, being very physical up front despite being the man down. And both times they've gone to that maul, they've thrown in extra backs to make up the numbers. Randall goes quickly, but from this moment the forwards take over and they just go to the power game. Luatua does on his own. Normally there's a latch player there with him. It's good technique from him. He gets low, beats two defenders. It's Capstick, the first defender. Well-deserved try for Luatua, and Bristol just scoring another way, showing they got the physicality up front as well.
Well, Bristol have scored 7 tries now. Byrne looking for his 6th conversion. And it's Bears 47, Chiefs 24. Let's have a look at what this is doing at the top of the Gallagher Premiership table. Remember Harlequins with a fabulous win at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium a little earlier today, beating Saracens. So Saracens dropping to 7th. Quins up into the top 4 right now. Bristol can't catch Bath at the top today, but they can certainly make sure Bath are feeling hot breath on the back of their necks when they play Gloucester at the Rec tomorrow, a match you will of course be able to enjoy with us here on TNT Sports. That Bristol change, Harry Thacker on, O'Gray off, as you will have seen. Randall, it's gone forwards, deliberately knocked on in the tackle. How well did Harding do to find space? Stopped by Brown Bampo. Owen keeps it going. Williams in a lot of traffic holds on as well. The ball's gone loose.
Offside.
It's really sharp from Randall on the short side. He just recognised that Brown Bampo isn't back quick enough. Picks the ball up, even though there might not be anything on down the short side. It doesn't matter, because he knows he's got that guard in an offside position and he'll get his team an advantage. Just really good, sharp mind from Randall.
It's part and parcel of England's Six Nations effort on the field for the climax against France and Scotland. Jack Van Portfleet back for Italy and Wales. How well did Van Portfleet play last night, by the way?
It's good to see him, and having competed 9s too in England, but Jack had a bad injury that just seems to have taken time for him to get back. Really, he looked fast last night, which is something that, with an injury that Jack has had, can take its time to come back sometimes, but that's definitely not the case now. To finish the try he did against last Saints takes some doing. Yeah, he looked sharp.
It's only because you've got it all over your face and it's still going.
Let's have a chat with Pat Lamb.
About 3 different places.
I always wonder, Pat, if you're loving this as much as we are, or is this a coach's nightmare?
Well, I came at half-time and said, well, that's a bit of entertainment. We've just got a little problem just around our D, and it was just little fixes. I mean, our shape, we were committing too many at the ruck. We were too tight around the ruck, which meant their first carry could get out to 4/5. So we said, let's give them a bit more of our Bears defence rather than what we showed up there. But love the effort, love the fearlessness to keep going, and but certainly defence was the priority.
We had a chat with Rob Baxter in the first half. Rob was saying actually the game was so quick, it was actually hard for the players to put some punctuation in it. It was running away from them at times. Did you feel similarly?
No, that's the way we train. Yeah. That's the pace we want to play at. But to do that, we need to make sure on the other side of the ball we're just as good as getting the shape as we are in attack.
You win this with 14?
Oh, that's the plan. That's the plan. It's a big effort. I mean, huge with 40 men, but one thing these guys have, they've got some serious character, and so that's the plan.
Brilliant. Thanks, Pat.
Thank you.
Off goes Bates. 50th game as a Bear today, by the way. Set for plenty more. He's extended his contract with Pat & Co this season. Luatua getting the ball away. The Bears with the penalty. Van Rensburg, and they'll need the advantage because Lane couldn't gather cleanly.
Number 5, playing the 9.
Aware, by the way, that loads of you may have switched on at half-time and thought, 40 minutes too late. But the reason the Bears are down to 14 is because Santi Grondona was red-carded for a high tackle, head-high tackle on Martin Maloney. And Stephen Luatua came on into the back row, and Calavetti Ravovo was the unfortunate soul who had to be sacrificed. So the Bears down to 14, but still with that very healthy 23-point lead now. Luatua, the try scorer, the latest. Bristol's 7th in this second half. Harry Thacker, a hooker who knows his way to the try line. It's been set up by James Dunn, who caught it, but there's not a great deal of room here, and Thacker recognised that. Capstick working hard over the top, but he was buffeted out of the way. Mata. Randall. Here's Dunn. Williams. Randall looking to accelerate. Luatua happy to oblige. Joe Owen. Harding. Oh no, behind him to Williams, and a little bit of space here for Van Rensburg, and Thacker, who we know plays like a back. No longer surprised when we see Thacker sidestepping like that. Byrne accelerating to the right, but the ball went the other way, instead to the skipper Harding. The Chiefs think they might have dislodged this. Yeah, they have. Frustration for Randall, Sam.
Yes, yourself for Scott with a brilliant turnover. Bristol failed to clear him out. He got it straight away, wins that race into the ball. He's just getting up off the floor now. It's a big effort.
Now use your feet, use it please.
Man's clearing kick. Taken well by Bates. Wilmore, Williams. First instinct is always to preserve that space in midfield, not to blow the ball away cheaply. Harding, nicely done. Van Rensburg being chased by Hammersley. Oh, Van Rensburg very nearly worked off the knees stroke hands of Thacker. Chinza. And then Cohen with the big wahoo. Skinner. Here's Brown Bampo. Rigg. Hodge acting scrum half. Cohen had to hold things up a little bit there before he found David Jenkins. Yendall. Chiefs swinging from one side of Ashton Gate to the other. Oh, and taken one-handed by Fisselau.
This is where Exeter need to be careful on turnover. If there is a turnover, you know Bristol will strike. It's the right idea from Exeter here, because they can't just kick it back to Bristol. They have got to try and find a way to play. You've just got to be sharp in attack.
Oh, that's a useful ball to Chinza. And then Hammersley scampering away.
Don't go back.
This is Kane James who's on. Away to Yendall. Chinza.
Off your feet, let go.
Skinner holds it up. Chiefs making progress towards the edge of the football penalty box. Fisselau, most phases in the match now, and Exeter have made 50-odd metres. And then Hodge seeking space, closed down brilliantly by Randall, determined that he wouldn't be beaten. Chinza again. Fisselau. Oh, he's hammered backwards. Thacker was involved in that, so too Luatua, not surprisingly, and then it's been dropped And all that patience, all that possession, all that ball.
No ball still in. Use it, please. Always under pressure.
After all that defence, maybe a little bit more attack, or maybe some kicking from Randall. That's nicely done. You know, instinctively we talk about Bristol as an attacking team, don't maybe talk enough about the quality of their defence and what Jordan Crane does when they're trying to lock doors.
No, and that was highlighted to me on that last Exeter break, especially when Exeter made the break up the middle. They're able to recover way quicker than what Exeter were. This is the break here. We should be seeing Exeter players flood through, get to support and want to score the try. Look at some of them are walking back here. Whereas Bristol all working hard to get back behind the ball and they ultimately stop a try. But some of the Exeter players in the back shot, which probably relates to what Rob Hunter said earlier in the game, Rob Baxter, sorry, about the kickoffs and the awareness not quite being as sharp as they'd like it to be. Harry Randall just realises they're out on the feet, they've been defending for a lot of phases. Smart option, just put it into touch.
Happy now? Happy? Okay.
Looks like James Williams has headed off for an HIA or perhaps a cut, and Bears have brought back Ravovo, and there he is.
No tackle, no help.
Ravovo, who was sacrificed when Grondona was red carded. It is a blood substitution we're hearing from down on the touchline as Cairns seek space. Bristol seek the ball on their halfway, and now in Exeter's half, and wow, the determination. James Dunn and co driving over the ball.
Fitzharding, captain, straight over to Maxwell Heath. He does so well to hustle and get the scrum after floor. Then it's Janta van Rensburg who joins him for the counter-attack, and they're off.
Here they go. Randall, and then Byrne, and now Bates for the hat-trick. Ashton Gate on its feet and bouncing and loving this. It's not five-star entertainment, it is six-star entertainment. Underlining goal.
So good from Randall again. Doesn't matter if they've got 14 men, he's willing to take it on. Just goes across field because he knows he needs to get to that last defender, even rides the tackle. And this is great from Bates. Look at him, just holds up slightly, puts doubt in Jenkins' mind whether he's going to go for the corner or not. Just enough, just slows up, goes for the corner, backs himself. Great try from Bristol. You've just got to be ready at all times, 14 men or not, they want to attack.
Burns' kick, just to the left. But the Bears into the 50s, 52-24. And even a man down, this is starting to feel like a lead. And maybe it has been for a while, that is beyond the reach now of the Chiefs.
I used to really enjoy that situation. You anticipate your 9 or 10 seeing the game that, or seeing the opportunity that you see on the touchline, and you're just hoping that they recognise it like Randall did. Just to have a go. The game where it is at the moment, why not have a go? And look, it turned up in a try, it turned up in 7 points. It was the right decision.
Yeah, I thought it was great from Randall. We saw the best from him from both sides, really. The pragmatic Randall, when he realised they got the ball back, they had no structure in attack deep in the half. He kicked upfield, and then that moment just to go true to himself and go quickly. Two big moments in the game that Randall played. That's his experience coming through. You know, two great pieces of play, and it's just swung the momentum back in Bristol's favour.
Maybe, I'm not sure.
Line out one by Fisselau. Here's Maloney, who's quite the picture at the moment. He has been in the wars today. Here's Hodge.
Well, you can't get out if you're trapping him.
Niall Armstrong is on as Chiefs scrum half. He's just replaced Tom Cairns. Rig is strong. He takes some stopping, but he was there. Owen on the floor. Capstick wrestling away, but Dunn this time comes in. Work of Bears' 2 second rows defensively. Need to defend here because Skinner's waltzing his way through. Taken by Hammersley. First job was to catch the ball, and by the time he had, he was being rushed by a couple of Bears defenders. That's nicely done. Blose keeping it going. Oh, and Cohen's ball lost. Owen makes sure it's still alive. Now Lango. Now Lango away to Luatua. Randall. Kick chasing. Cohen's the favourite. Oh, Randall did nicely not to concede the penalty there. Stayed on his feet as long as he could. But Exeter also have engineered an escape route here. It won't be easy. Armstrong back in the Premiership for the first time in 6 months and back in at the deepest of deep ends. But the Chiefs did that job well.
Time off, 5's down, and you're playing.
It ain't darts we're playing. You don't look like that after a game of snooker.
It's a good bit of marketing, that, isn't it? Just that on a poster. This isn't darts.
Well,
that's going to be sore tomorrow, Sam.
you'll have a nose like me now, unfortunately. That's what happens when you play back row.
I wouldn't know. Couldn't have been further from that.
Bristol are making a change. Harry Randall's evening that's been full of endeavour, ambition, is now over. He's replaced by Kieran Marmion, but listen to the applause for Harry Randall.
Just make sure it's really clear when you're in the line out, if you're in or out.
Is there a scrum half more suited to play for Bristol Bears than Harry Randall? If they're looking at like a recruitment retention piece, he's probably one of the players they'd be desperate to keep at the club, you know, long term. Still got loads of years left in him, but he's such a key player for the way they play. Brilliant tonight.
Which might hold him back at England because of the style or just the difference in the way the game's played. It's so hard to transfer what Bristol do onto the international stage.
Why?
My answer in short is it's really difficult to get 10 teams, different variation of playing together to play quickly. Whereas Ireland pick from 2 or 3 teams, have a lot of time together, and they're able to work on the finer details of the game. We aren't fortunate in that.
We'll get Sam's thoughts on that in a minute. Astaca peels away and Bristol go again. Josh Caulfield, by the way, has come off the Bristol bench for Joe Owen. Owen's hard work from the second row draws to its close. Here's Marmion threatening for the first time. Exeter offside. Marmion recommitting himself to the Bears this week. He's agreed a new deal. Nalango. Or rather, Revovo.
Playing penalty advantage.
Marmion having a go on his own.
Ball is out, I agree. The ball's in the shirt, we've got offside.
He won't mind that, Josh Caulfield. Look at this rig, he's saying. I am no stranger to a gymnasium.
This is darts.
If you give me a chance, I was going to go more, but I'm waiting for him to shot. We're back down here again, and we're doing a penalty. So, you know where we're going with this, okay? Discipline's got to improve.
That's one way to slow up the ball. You've got counter-ruck, you've got hold the ball up in the tackle, you've got jackal, then you've got to pull the player's shirt over the ball so the number 9 can't play it.
Sam, why can't you play Bears style of rugby at test level?
I think Ashley makes a good point. It's true. I remember when I had a brief stint with Wales, I remember Neil Jenkins, very experienced international coach, saying it always feels like by the end of a campaign you make great strides, but when you come back for the next campaign you've taken one step back. You've got to get all those styles together, and everyone's default option at club level is slightly different, and that's obviously exaggerated with England given the fact they're picking from 10 teams, where Scotland, Ireland, Wales, for example, from a home nations perspective, are picking from less, so there's more continuity, combinations are easier to select. And England have that's more of a juggle for England, given the diverse styles that you see across the Premiership as well.
Chris Chinz's first Premiership game for 5 months is over. Lewis Pearson back on for him. We saw him temporarily in the first half. This is Skinner. Started the season as fly half, deployed more recently at fullback.
Okay, use it please. Clear on your plan. Falling down, player falling.
Thacker. Burn. Well, whipped away by Lane to find some space for Van Rensburg. He asks an understandably weary Jack Bates to get on his bike again.
Now hold on.
Back they come. Lane.
Definitely putting more pressure on this ruck in the second half. Exeter, it's a pretty obvious thing to suggest when you go in at half time, and how can we slow this Bristol Bears team down? It's got to be pressure on the ball, and Youssefa Scott got one 10 minutes ago, but even in phase play they are competing on the ball hard, but Bristol, to their credit, are still managing to get to those wide spaces, keep the ball multi-phase. There's no lack of effort from Exeter. I think from a coaching staff you're still going to be quite proud of the effort of the team, but just moments have got away from Bristol's brilliance in attack, but no lack of effort in defence from Exeter.
It's Harry Byrne who's coming off for an HIA. Bears have got Ben Elizalde and now Lango on the bench, and it is the hugely promising young Argentinian in his first season here. Ben Elizalde is still only 20.
Must be sunny in Bristol. It's a fantastic tan for the time of year.
Armstrong. Cohen. Oh, that's nice and flat to Rigg, and Rigg with the speed to almost get beyond Bates. And Youssefa Scott pops it up and then back in to protect the ball. Cohen. Jenkins and Skinner over the top. It rather stopped Brown Bampo because of the nature of the pass, but the strength of Brown Bampo turns it into something good. Cohen. In the end to Hammersley. Here he is. He's not been playing darts either.
A big hit from Mata. He's put himself around the pitch tonight, Mata.
Hammersley once more looking through the blood. Rigg, who really set up this situation. Maloney looks interested. Soduda's done.
Okay, no, enough now. Ball's here. Don't touch him. Thanks.
Fisilau.
Left flat, 18.
Cohen was ready for that ball away, but that was brilliant, and that is fabulous. Jack Yendall. Chiefs, big men conspiring, and that's a roar of defiance.
That's a big moment from Dav Jenkins. It's a great carry, and he doesn't die with the ball. He just manages to sneak that ball out of his right hand towards Jack Yendall, who runs a good support line and works hard to get on his shoulder. We're seeing how Dav Jenkins just bust that first tackle.
They're looking at Exeter talking about a
nice show and go on the inside to create that 1v1. Oh, it's so underrated, just showing that, having that pump. makes the defence think you could pass it,
Do
so
we
it
know
allows you a
where- do we
one-on-one.
talk
There he
about
goes,
the
just
one
shows
by
it inside
number
Marmy and
8?
bites for it.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
You can just
Okay.
get through that tackle enough to get the offload. Yendall does well to finish it off.
Time until we kick off.
He looked okay in live play, Carl, when I had a look at it, so, yeah.
Just because they're... I've asked.
Converted by Josh Hodge. 5th try for the Chiefs. They're into the 30s. Still 21 points adrift. Don't know whether we'll see Jack Yendall in a Chiefs shirt again next season. He's 35 now, and I know they're in contract talks, and it's, I suspect, always that tricky moment when you get to his age of wanting more money than the club are perhaps able, willing to offer. But that's where we are with Jack Yendall at the moment.
It's always a tough one because you've been at a club for so long too. Your family are settled and that's where you live. I know more than most. I think I had 17 moves. My wife reminds me most days. It's a hard one to pick up the family and get going all the time. So although you might in your mind think you want to go and try elsewhere, grass isn't always green, it might be my advice on that one.
Whenever our TNT Sports WhatsApp group needs help looking for decent removal people, there's only one bloke to talk to. There's Rob Hunter, promoted to head coach this week. He had been in charge of the forwards. Ali Heifer, the backs and attacks coach for the time being. He'll move into a more academy-based role next season, and a new backs and attacks coach will come in. Rob Baxter telling us before the match that Exeter just think it's time to freshen things up, new voices, new ideas, new ways of doing things. That was hefty defensive work from Armstrong, taking the time and space away from Luatua.
It's a knock on scramble line.
There's Ali Heifer making his point. Made his name as a player with Northampton. Lovely midfielder, but it's as a coach with Exeter that he's gone on to win Premiership titles, Champions Cups, given his all to the job to this club.
I think it makes sense, and Rob Baxter did explain at the top of the show why they've made the call now. You know, like, there's no relegation, so they can't go down, and rather than wait for pre-season where Hunter can put his stamp on the team as head coach, it's like, well, let's do it now. There's what is it, 7 rounds left in the Premiership. Everything you get now just gets you ahead of schedule for pre-season and for next September. So you can understand making the move, what might feel slightly prematurely.
Yes, Willie. Yes, Willie. Okay, ball is down, play it away.
So Kane James now on permanently for a Premiership debut. He's on for Martin Maloney. And Capstick helping to release Cohen for half a second or two. Armstrong at scrum half. Driven on by Blosay. Armstrong has it. It's Thacker working hard, and so too Max Laheath. Fissilau. It's been a good 5 minutes for Exeter. A lot of ball, scoring tries again, and they might get another here before too long. Hammersley stepping back in field. Jake Woolmore is rolling around, seeing he can say hello to. Oh, and away quickly by Pearson. And then Van Rensburg got his hands on the ball, and Lane was tackled without the ball, but he'd already lost it. So we can go again with Brown Bampo, and he finds Hammersley. This match ending like it started.
Got to kick that one, I think. Unless it's the perfect bounce into your hands, you've got to kick it on and try and pick it up.
Okay, ball's here. Advantage is over now.
Brown Bampo. He's got Kane James in support.
So strong in the wide channels, Brown Bampo. He manages to just beat contact, make meters every time he gets the ball out wide.
And then Yosefa Scott knocking Harding off his feet, helping to create a little bit of space here for Capstick. And Capstick running through players. Yendall goes in to screwdriver that ball back.
Ball's out.
Pearson. Oh, very nearly cottoning on to Fisselau. But it's the Bears. And this is where the Chiefs need to be on red alert. This may be kicked into the stands, it might not be.
Maybe 10 more minutes ago, previously, we might have seen that, but I think we're seeing now quite a tired Bristol. Put so much into this game, and with 40 men for large parts of it, just dropping off a couple of tackles. It's the right decision to put the ball in touch. They're out on the feet, some of these Bristol players.
Interested to have a 10-minute look at Kane James, England under-20 flanker. Started the game last Friday night against Wales in Cardiff, Sam, and there's an irony in that. I think you know the James family well, don't you?
Well, we met them downstairs earlier, didn't we? He's from Cardiff, but was in the under-20 squad that won the World Cup last year as well. He's got man of the match in the Six Nations this year round. Was up at Newcastle Falcons, Exeter snapped him up, and it's great to see him come through. Brilliant young player, as we see Woolmore going off the pitch. But yeah, Kane James, seen bits of him play. He is a proper talent himself, and Pollock. They're going to have a right ding-dong going for that 7th shirt in years to come. Two excellent young players.
The under-20 world champion last year. He's 20 next week.
What do you think, Samuel, seeing a player like James playing for Exeter, not in Wales?
Well, I mean, at Exeter, you've got John at 15, who's Welsh. You've got Shunza and Jenkins. So, you know, don't think anyone's asked him where his loyalties lie yet, whether he wants to play for Wales or if he's qualified to play for England. I mean, I'm not sure if he spent enough time in England if he hasn't got qualification through parents. But yeah, it's a little bit. You think it's a little bit of a shame, but it's down to the player. If the player feels they've got strong roots to England and they've done really well to develop them, given them a chance, and have got heritage in that country, then you can't blame any player for choosing where they want to play.
Fisselau's catch. Chiefs finishing this match strongly against 14-man Bristol. Bristol down to 14 since the 29th minute, since Santi Grondona was sent off for a head-high collision with Martin Maloney. Here is James.
On the shoulder.
Cohen. Hodge. David Jenkins, a Chief who does play for Wales, and then away by Blosay, and hard running from Skinner. Armstrong, that's nicely done by Youssefa Scott, just as the hit was about to come in from Caulfield. Already got 5 tries, the Chiefs.
On the ball.
James again. Brown Bampo in splendid isolation away on the right-hand side, but Chiefs couldn't quite get the ball away, and he's being covered now by Marmion. Renzo Blosay, signed from the Stormers this season. And again, Skinner just having a little rattle away at the lock. Brown Bampo's come in field. Cohen lifted over the top to Rigg. Hard running Rigg will score. One thing we have seen over the last 20 minutes or so is the size of Exeter's heart. They've absolutely not subsided here. They're ending the matches. Maybe you'd expect them to a man up, but they are ending the match as the better side, scoring tries.
100%. I think that's probably the promising thing the coaches are going to take away from this game. It's just that never say die attitude. It's a nice ball from Cohen to get over the top, and Rigg has shown some power all throughout this game, isn't he? Great ball carrier. He's broken that first tackle quite regular in this game. But Exeter showed a really good defensive set, probably going back 5-10 minutes to earn them the territory and field position that they've got
Bristol,
now.
And it went forward
And all
off
that
Bristol,
hard work has paid off. At least they walk away here with a losing bonus point with 4 tries. It's good effort and well deserved.
5.
Josh Hodge with another conversion. Bristol 52, Exeter 38.
There's definitely something into. You've got to keep Bristol close on the scoreboard throughout the game, and if they're going to put so much into attack as they do, you've got to want to beat them in the last 5-10 minutes of a game when they've done so much attacking, they're just too tired to keep up with you. You've got to keep them close on the scoreboard. It's no good letting them get so far ahead they can almost switch off and allow you to score tries, which is what we're seeing here from Exeter. The numbers are starting to count against Bristol, but they've done enough in this game. Well, you'd like to think. There's still 5 minutes left.
Yeah, let's go.
2 tries, never say never.
90 points, by the way, equals the most we've seen in a match in the Premiership this season. Still got 4 minutes to go. Time for another 3 or 4 tries at least. Elizalde up to halfway. Thacker. Off he goes. One of Ashton Gates' favourites. He'll be hanging around a while longer. He's extended his contract. Marmion likewise kept the ball alive. Luatua.
No, don't run.
Thacker. Burn. Oh. Away by Elizalde and Williams, and that wasn't in the script. Dropped by Viliama Mata. Chris Ashton. In a game of chaos, it's your job to fish out the man of the match.
Yes, there's no surprise it's going to go to a Bristol player. Randall's been outstanding, electric. We've seen him create so much this evening. Luatua too, when he came off the bench.
Okay, time's off.
Really made life difficult for Exeter. But it's going to go for Jack Spate, the hat-trick scoring winger today. He made 101 metres. Some of his tries, first phase, outstanding set-piece tries. Finish a lovely try in the corner here for his hat-trick. He's had a great day all round.
Or is it blue 14?
So yeah, my player of the match is Jack Bates.
Blue. Okay, we all okay. All good to carry on. We're good.
And he'll have something to show for at the end of his 50th game as a Bear.
Let's go, scrum.
Something in as well with the back three, what they've had to manage there for Bristol, being 14 men. You've always got to do more running because you're a player down, so it's expected that the wingers and fullback will pick up that extra work in the backfield, and they've done that well as well on the other side of the ball.
Time for more.
Carnage. Dropped his shoulder. 23.
Well, the whistle's gone. Elizalde hasn't heard it.
Dropped his shoulder. Very good point.
Chiefs have got to be looking for 2 points here. Bonus point within 7. Down to 13 men now, Bristol. As we're seeing that, it's a clear block.
Thanks.
I'll be speeding up as fast as I could. Get this ball in the corner.
It's, now Lango off for good. He's not been on long. An opportunity knocking here. Wilrig's 6th try means that a converted 7th would make sure that the Chiefs are heading back down the M5, the 75 miles back to Devon with 2 bonus points.
2. Don't join in.
What about it? Playing against 13 now. Capstick amongst those going in. Lewis Pearson looking to operate where he can best, but ball heading dangerously towards that touchline. And Fitzharding leads the applause, and spontaneous applause around Ashton Gate for for that defensive effort.
Fans love to see that, Nick. The game is won, and I think that's leadership from Harding. It's just that never say die attitude, always trying to win every small battle and never just taking your foot off the gas. I think that's what the top teams do. They don't take their foot off. You're just relentless all the way through. And I know the backs have had a massive say in this game, but Harding's been immense. He's had a massive work rate all game, attack and D. I think City obviously played a lot of his rugby at 8, but since he switched to 7, he's certainly got the engine for it. But without his grunt up front, along with his other 7 comrades, I think he's been excellent today. 18 tackles, 10 carries, worked hard in D over the ball. Might only be awarded 1 turnover, but he's worked very hard. He's had an excellent afternoon.
Squeezing out the seconds.
10 seconds.
Thacker has it. Marmion knows that in the next 3 or 4 seconds, Bristol can finish the job. Listen to the roar. What a game. Glorious, dizzying chaos. All that is good about this league. Kind of game that really underlines all that is compelling about this sport. Both sides on the front foot from the off. Outstanding entertainment. The big bag of points, however, heading Bristol's way, further underlining the view that they will be in the playoffs at the end of this season. Final score inside the magic arena that is on a weekly basis Ashton Gate these days. To the sound of the Wurzels, Bristol 52, Exeter 38. Who wants to sum this up? Where do we start, Sam?
I've never done a game like it. That first 30 minutes was like nothing I've seen before. It was just so back and forth. There was certainly some defensive frailties, but the attacking intent from both teams was brilliant. I thought from a backline perspective, Bristol just had that little bit more X factor in their backline. Lane, Bates, Van Rensburg, Williams was brilliant, Ravovo, Byrne, all of them. Randall was exceptional. I think from 9 to 15, they all had a massive impact on the game. All of them had at least an 8 out of 10 game if you had to rate them. Huge influential. The fans are loving this. Great atmosphere to finish off this game this evening.
Bristol's clear mindset is catch us if you can. They're going to start fast, score tries, and if you can't keep up with them, they'll take the game from you. That's their attitude. They've been so good at it this season, and Exeter have to see how they perform over the coming weeks. I mean, it's easy to look at switching coaching mid-season and get the understanding of Rob Hunter taking over, giving him opportunity till the end of the season, but you've got to be performing. We saw glimpses today. They'll want to see more next week, especially having Newcastle.
Big wins so far this weekend for Harlequins, for Leicester, for Bristol. It's over to you, Bath. They play Gloucester tomorrow, who'll be looking for something similar of their own. But here at the gate, 90 points, 14 tries, 1 red card, 2 hours of gold-plated entertainment. Sam.
Thanks, Nick. OK, before we have a chat with Jack, then I'm going to ask Angus Hogg from Gallagher to present Jack with a Player of the Match award. We can do that. Thank you, Angus. Jack, massive congratulations. We're kind of used to seeing big, high scores here at Ashton Gate now, but that was insane. What was it like to be a part of?
Very tough. I think I was blurring that whole game, especially when we went down to 14. When you lose a player like that, the emphasis comes on keeping possession. So parts I thought we did that well, and we finished, but it got a little bit loose at times. I think the start of the game, it was a bit like a game of tennis. We score, they score, we score, they score. So we came in and we just said, look after the ball, go for our phases, and those opportunities will open up.
Because I want to ask you what the actual plan was in that opening 40, because it was so frantic, it was so crazy. I don't think anyone secured a kickoff for about 20 minutes. What was the plan at the start of the game?
I think it was taking them to a dark place, and then those opportunities will open up. I mean, it got a little bit loose, so we've had 6 weeks away from game, so that was always going to be a challenge, but I thought we hung in there and came away with the result today.
Yeah, I mean, it edges you closer to Bath at the top of the table now, just a point between you, but they've got to play tomorrow, of course. I mean, are you guys feeling the pressure? Because it's so tight, isn't it, with that top 7, really?
But we go game by game, week by week, so if we can win, then it makes it sort of our focus, how do I say it, easier and plan through the season. So we're not thinking too far ahead, and if we get those wins, then it will take care of itself.
And a hat-trick for your good self? You're not going to mention that much tonight, are you?
Say again?
A hat-trick for your good self? You're not going to mention that too much to the boys tonight, are you?
Credit to the boys. I was just on the end of them. Boys played class, and luckily I was on their shoulders. So yeah, I'm very happy with that.
Very modest of you, Jack. Go and enjoy your teammates. Congratulations.